heard about Grow and Grow Rich, it was a radio snippet, and learn about the cannabis business. You'll see Grow and Grow Rich, but I was on the freeway, so I couldn't write down the number. So I said, it'll come back on, it'll come back on. And I waited for the telephone number. Waited for the telephone number. Wrote it down, called them, made reservation. They said, oh, you can bring up to 8 people. I called everybody I know. This is, trust me, it's already blown up in Colorado, it's blown up in Washington, it's blowing up in Oregon, and every place cannabis has been legalized or deregulated, or they can use medical, or they're using it for recreation, it's blown up. We need to be in this business. They looked at me like, oh, I have spoken, like, that's still illegal. I'm like, never mind, click. Next person, click. Next person. I finally got down to Ollie, because I called like 7 people before I called her, because she was young. And I said, well, she might not want to do it. She's still exploring the world, But I called her anyway. I said, hey, I've got a business opportunity. Let's go, and you want to go with me to go see it? Sure. What is it? Cannabis. Okay. I went, well, I should have started with her.
Well, I first met Mama D at a preview. She came, her and her partner Ollie, they just came because they heard our commercial and they wanted to get more information about, what exactly a Grow and Grow Rich was. So she came in, and she's a very, very passionate woman. So she decided she was going to move forward, and she wanted to learn more about Grow and Grow Rich and how to make money in the cannabis industry. So she came to our 3-day workshop in Pasadena, California. And the very first day she came, she brought us all snacks.
And I sat there, and I listened to Chris. I listened to Chris Franchino. I listened to Dean Kidder. And it was just fantastic. And they told me things, and they said things that I felt at my core.
Day 2, she was like, maybe I want to make a cannabis edible snack, and she kept bringing more snacks and more snacks. And she was really, really passionate about getting involved.
A friend of mine bought me a brownie. Okay, I know it's typical. She bought me a brownie. My first thought was, God, this tastes like chalk. It's like, people eat this? It was horrible. I just went, I don't care what the content was. I don't care if it's CBDs or THC. And everybody's going, well, nobody cares about the taste. And I'm like, they should. I know it's new. And I know there's a lot of people out there doing it. Well, I already knew what I wanted to do in the business. What I didn't know what I was going to do in the business is how I'm going to get a business. Because the old saying is very true. You need money in order to make money. Because you've got to take that money and pour it in to a business to grow it. So I'm like going, well, where am I going? We at least talking about $50K. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Unfortunately, the point in her life where she was at, she wasn't financially, she wasn't cash rich. So she's got, some investments and some money, but in property. So she didn't have liquid cash available. Since she's been retired for, 10 years, she had no idea even of how her credit was. So I explored some options, sat with her and showed her, hey, maybe we can get you financed, and maybe we can help you to raise some capital.
And it says on the form, what do you think your credit score is? And I put, honestly, between sucky and bad. And really sucky. They said, you don't know your score? I said, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue.
So we submitted her application, and we get an instant approval to see what she would be approved for. So about 10 minutes later, we got her approval back. She had been approved for $100,000.
I said, with 1 and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Little did she know she was sitting on 813 credit score.
And I kind of looked at him, and I went, are you sure you're talking about me? You're not talking about her, right? He goes, no, you.
So she was very, very excited. She busted into tears. She cried for about 15 minutes. She was very scared. It's a scary feeling to be approved for $100,000 and not know what you're going to do with it, other than she had the idea that she was going to get involved in cannabis.
Without Grow and Grow Rich, I wouldn't have the idea to talk to people who do edibles or who knows what it takes to do an edible and to do an edible that's good. And how do you market it?
At that point in time, she thought she was going to create an edible, some type of snack that had cannabis in it. And then going through the rest of our courses, through our Kickstarters, she learned that she didn't want to create an edible product anymore. She wanted to create something that could be put into any edible product.
Chris Wright had me into the office, and my partner, Chris Wright, the head of the company. Okay, I want people to understand that. He's there. He comes in and he says, hi, I'm gonna talk to you. Let's get here, and let's see what you wanna do. He don't play. He does not play. So we were sitting there naming all these stuff, and at the bottom I said, oh, and I wanna do sugar. He stopped what he was doing and he said, tell me about that. I said, you know, there are a lot of people who don't necessarily, they don't want to buy anything, you know, that has leaves on it or anything. But what if they can buy just regular old, plain old sugar in the raw, and it's infused with CBDs, something that they can give themselves, they can give their children. And he said, okay. And so then he started asking all his people, have you ever heard of this? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever done? And he stopped me and he said, that's yours. Don't go anywhere else. Don't do anything else. That's yours. There you are. That's your step into the business.
And ever since then, she's just hit the ground running. She actually, for being a retired woman, she moves pretty quick. You'd be surprised how quick she's actually moving. So we're helping her design her packaging right now. Currently, we're showing her how she can take it to the market in all the states that it's legal in, and how to create that product in that state, and how to, like I said, how to get it to the market. So we're currently helping her with her package design, with the packer. We also have helped her, because she doesn't want to grow. She doesn't need to grow. She just needs to get the product inside of her sugar. So we've connected her with the proper scientist, if you will, with our extraction expert.
There's so many things in this business. It's not a one pot, I'm growing a joint thing. Look, it's a business, and there's these multiple layers and things to do in this business. Everything from learning how to do your grows, to cooking, to drying, to chemically changing things, which is what we found out, because cannabis is oil soluble. What we want to do is water soluble. I went, oh my God, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. The business is dead. I was kind of like, you know, my balloon was like this, and then the balloon was deflating. And so I went home. So I started looking at the chemist. His name is Nate Winokur. And Nate is just this, he's like super genius, okay? He just knows everything. And so he said, no, you'll do this, this, and this. And then what you'll do is you'll get this evaporator. It's some kind of evaporator machine. And he gave us the information where we can sit and, you know, write it down and know what we're writing down. So I went home, and of course, I love Google. Google, look up this machine. Google thing, and then there were prices. Oh my God, we don't have that. I mean, I got a great score, but I don't think they're gonna give me that kind of score. So Chris Franchino texts me and he says, I want to know how you did on the class. Was the class great? And I said, oh, this is wonderful. The class was great. I said, but we did run into a small little teeny problem. So then he says, what? And then I told him. And I said, I think we're about done. And he goes, no, it's called outsourcing. Don't worry about it. I mean, he said, and I went, really? He says, oh yeah, what? We got a problem, we'll fix it. He says, you're not dead. Trust me, you're not dead. But you got a damn great idea. So stick with it. And that's what we did. That's where we are. And we're like, it seems like it was this far away, we're now like this.
I deal with people every day that want to get into the cannabis industry, but it's not every day you come across someone like Mama D. Someone who's just filled with passion, and she was very dedicated to being successful very early on, and I believe that's going to take her to the finish line.
After we do a couple more things with Chris, we're ready for production. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I a little excited? I didn't mean to. I'll calm down now. I mean, it's kind of hard, but that's where we are. We're just like, whew, I'm a businesswoman now, you know. I'm an entrepreneur.